Hello, everybody. It's Matt from RoyalCaribbeanBlog.com. Thank you for joining us here on YouTube on a different day, but thank you for joining us here nonetheless. My name is Matt. I am from RoyalCaribbeanBlog.com and appreciate you being here as we count down. We're going to count down in a second. We're going to answer your Royal Caribbean questions, starting with the most important question: how many days until your next Royal Caribbean cruise? Type your countdown in chat. Let us count down together. I was getting ahead of myself. I have 4 more days until my next Royal Caribbean cruise on Liberty of the Seas. I'm going to Bermuda. It'll be my second time going to Bermuda with Royal Caribbean and third time overall, but first time with Royal Caribbean doing an overnight there. So very excited to do that. And as you can see, we are in a different studio today. We are up in upstate New York, enjoying a different locale. Kids are out of school, doing a little summer vacation. And I, for one, I'm very happy not to be in Florida because it is surface of the sun hot over there. Whereas here it is a beautiful low 70s, no humidity, absolutely gorgeous day. Anyway, I'm glad to be here with you guys answering your Royal Caribbean cruise questions. So please feel free to type as many cruise questions as you want in the chat. We, of course, had some amazing super chatters even before the broadcast began. You guys are amazing with the level of support here. Starting with Kobe Takeda. Kobe says, just off Brilliant, 75 days till Navigator. Do you know if or when Royal Caribbean started putting refrigerators, not just coolers, in staterooms? They're just coolers. They're not refrigerators. That's always been the case. The only time you'll ever find a true fridge is if you have a medical need, like if you need to keep insulin cold, as an example. But by default, yeah, those fridges are all they're not on the very small ships like the Vision class, but they've been on since like the Voyager class onwards. And they're just, cooler, something to keep, a bowl of fruit cool, be able to eat later that day. Eddie Diaz, thank you for becoming a platinum member with the Royal Caribbean Blog Club. Thank you. Jill 1228. Always a pleasure, Jill. Thank you for your support and your super chat. I appreciate you. Chris Stell, thanks for the super chat. 234 days, or more importantly, 33 more Monday live chats until Independence of the Seas back to back. Thanks, Matt and MEI, for making our cruises better and simpler. We appreciate all the info and recommendations. You are very welcome. Thank you, Chris. I appreciate you. Josh Albertson, thank you for the super chat. I'm going on Wonder of the Season 12 days, and I have the dining package. Can you rank the places I should eat dinner in order from your favorite to hooked? I mean, I would probably say, Josh, we've done a video here on our YouTube channel about my favorite specialty restaurants in a particular order. But I would probably say something like 150 Central Park, Izumi, Mason Jar, Giovanni's. That order might change a little bit. That's probably my top 4 easy. I feel like I'm forgetting something really obvious. Playmakers. Playmakers would be easy to be at 5 there. So let's start there. Ryan Cardone. Ryan, thank you for the super chat. Are Radiance or Brilliance of the Seas the same layout? Yeah, pretty much. Sailing Radiance in July, found out our room has an obstructed view. Video of the same cabin on Brilliant shows a wind washer ladder, which isn't too bad. Would Radiance be the same? Possibly. Generally speaking, the Radiance class ships are all layout-wise, they're almost identical to each other. What's really changed about the Radiance class has been some of the refurbishments she's gotten over the years. But beyond that, I would expect it to look more the same than different, Ryan. I can't promise you your cabin will be in terms of the obstruction, but I would probably say that video is probably what you can expect. Julesy, thank you for the super chat. 69 days till Alaska on Quantum. Diamond Plus, but first to Alaska on Quantum class. Will I miss always class ships in the sunshine? No, you'll have a great Alaska. Julesy, you will love Alaska. It is phenomenal. You're going to love it. It's also very port intensive, so you're less dependent on the ship. I think you picked a great option for Alaska. Brad, hold on a second, Brad. I don't think we're up to... no, Jonathan's got our first one I can actually show you on screen. Brad, thanks for the super chat. 150 days to Allure, 192 to Liberty, 306 to Oasis. The first cruise is in March, and we are hooked. I love that. You took your first cruise like 2 months ago, and now you've got 1, 2, 3 cruises lined up. You are doing it right, sir. Appreciate you. All right, now I can show you your questions on chat here. Jonathan, thank you for the super chat. When you reach Diamond and Beyond on Crown and Anchor, you get drink vouchers. Small Princess to redeem them at any bar. You can use it at the main dining room or specialty dining. Yes, you absolutely can. Honestly, the drink vouchers, Jonathan, that you get with being Diamond work anywhere the drink package works, including Perfect Day, CocoCay, and Labadee as well, Jonathan. So make that really easy for you. Thank you for the support. Ray and Nancy Cruisers, thank you for the super chat. Any hope the mystery dinner theater events will return? Really enjoy those dinners. It doesn't appear so, Ray or Nancy. The mystery dinner theater was an event that was held primarily in Giovanni's on older ships pre-pandemic, and I don't think they ever came back. I remember them being available like on Liberty of the Seas and a couple of others. So if they haven't gone back yet, I gotta think they're just done. Now that being said, Ray, there isn't. I kind of think to some extent, if you go with me on this, the next evolution of the mystery dinner theater is probably what you're going to see on Utopia of the Seas with the new Royal Railway Utopia Station. That idea is seems to be of that ilk. I mean, it's not quite who done it, but it certainly there's a story being told there rather, and I think that's a big component to why you're seeing that there. So, or rather, a big component to like following that lineage of that show meets dinner experience. All right, guys, let's keep answering more of your questions. Don and Judy in the chat. I see James Colson in the chat. Welcome, guys. Michelle Prose is here. Kat DeRose is here. Brenda, thank you for the super chat. 5 days till Harmony, 389 till the group cruise on Independence, and going back to back. I'll be on there with you. What are you most looking forward to on that sailing? The back to back, the sheer variety of the ports we're going to. So if you're unaware, we're doing a group cruise on Independence of the Seas out of Southampton, England next summer. And the group cruise is an 8-night cruise to a bunch of cities in Northern Europe. It goes to Hamburg and Rotterdam and Oslo and somewhere else. And that's a really cool itinerary on its own. But then the next week is a 7-nighter, and it goes to the Norwegian fjords. So I think it's gonna be the places we're gonna go to quote Brenda, to quote Dr. Seuss. Oh, the places you'll go is very much how I feel about that itinerary. I'm so excited for that one. It's gonna be utterly amazing. Hey, Chantel, one of our moderators here and writers at RoyalCaribbeanBlog.com. Good to see you. Kelly, your daughter got married at Seneca Lake in Geneva, New York this past Friday. Congratulations to her. Nice. Let's see. Next question. Muscle Automotive. I just got some good news from some of my family members. I'm going to be on Utopia this season in August. Can't wait. Is there anything you would recommend? Well, the ship isn't out yet. It doesn't launch until July, but certainly the shows. When it comes to new ships with Royal Caribbean, the shows and the entertainment are always top of mind there for sure. Baltimore Dave, thanks for the super chat, buddy. Appreciate you. Do I see a super chat? Oh, there it is. What is a good place to stay in Cocoa Beach for a couple nights prior to Port Canaveral cruise that won't break the bank? Home 2 Suites. It's literally like written home, the number 2 Suites. We stayed there a couple times, Dave. It's a relatively new hotel. I like that one quite a bit. Brad, glad to see you. Hope family vacation last week's cruise was amazing. Okay, choked up. All right. Sorry, Brad. Your question, it brought tears to my eyes thinking about last week's cruise. Yeah, we had an amazing time. Actually, wait a minute. Where was I last week? I was on Freedom. Last week's cruise is great, but I'm looking forward to, this has already been a great start. With our first full day was up here in New York, and we're excited. It's great. It's a great variety of places we're going to, including Liberty of the Seas. So yeah, very excited for that one. Lisa, when can you start reserving restaurants before your cruise? It really depends on your ship. There isn't a set time, Lisa. Usually Royal Caribbean releases bookings for especially restaurants many months before the cruise begins. In many cases, more than a year or so, but there is not an exact date where it's like, oh, Lisa, this many months, this many days before the cruise is when you'd be able to do that. Raymond wants to know, do you know if you can combine the Memorial Day sale discount with the Kids Sail Free cruise with the Royal Caribbean? Yeah, I mean, so there are combinability of rules, Raymond, and your question is probably a more loaded question than it sounds. But when you go to the Royal Caribbean website and you go to make a new cruise reservation, you'll see there are combinability rules. Basically, the website will default to finding you the best option. But Ray, I'm going to tell you one thing, make this a little easier on yourself. Because trying to understand the combinability rules is a little difficult. Work with a good travel agent. They can help explain to you why this promo and this promo do work or not work. There's a lot of combinability rules. Kids Sail Free has a ton of blackout dates, so be aware of that. But if you were to pick one, yeah, absolutely. Ronnie, thank you for the super chat. What are the pros and cons of choosing a suite versus two connecting cabins? I mean, suite's going to get you higher amenities, double points, so like an extra point per night for staying in a suite. You're going to get access to the suite facilities on board. Also, this depends, Ronnie, what type of suite, what ship it's on, because obviously, if you're on an Oasis or Quantum or Icon class ship and you're in a Grand Suite, you're going to get free Wi-Fi. But if you're not in one of those classes, like a Freedom class or a Voyager class, you won't get Wi-Fi. There it depends on the suite. Also, some suites have a lot more separation to them, Ronnie. So your question, it really depends on a lot of factors that we'd have to whittle down depending on the exact suite, the exact ship. Chris, thanks for the super chat, buddy. Enchantment is in Juratic. Any ideas what they're doing? Under the hood work, Chris. They're not going to add, I mean, I could be wrong, but traditionally with older ships like Enchantment, they're just going for under the hood work. They're refurbishments, not amplifications. So you can expect basically a lot of like engine work and maintenance work. Nothing like, hey, they're going to add a new restaurant or new water slides or things like that, or change out shows. They really don't do that with that kind of thing. Okay, just make sure I'm not. Sometimes I get messages during these because I did something wrong. Let's see here. Lindy from MEI Travel is here. Hello, Lindy. It is good to see you. Welcome. Mike Pastore is here. Hello, Mike. Good to see you. Triplets and Us. Has Royal Caribbean ever considered adding a casino on CocoCay if allowed? I don't know if they ever considered it. But there's going to be ramifications because even though the island is Royal Caribbean's island, it's really leased and it's still owned by the Bahamas, subject to their rules. But keep in mind, by the way, that the casino is open while your ship is docked at Perfect Day at CocoCay. Let's see here. Mike, loved the episode about traveling to Europe a couple weeks ago. Yeah, thank you. That was a great one with Emma. Would love doing that. Mike, thanks for the super chat. Do you personally tip your stateroom attendant extra? Yes, I do. If so, do you do it daily or at the end? I always do it at the end. But yes, I do. Usually, if they got to pick up after us, they deserve a little something extra. But yeah, I almost always do. And I always do it at the end of the cruise. I never was somebody who believed in tipping during the cruise unless there was like extenuating circumstances. Like I knew I was asking for something like crazy, but I can't remember a time in which I did that. Let's see here. Shoshana coming in with an epic super chat. Woo! Shoshana, what? Thank you so much. Back from Harmony and 66 Days to Elevation. Love the vegetarian Indian food. Love Paradise Beach. Brock from MEI Travel was a huge help. Connecting balcony cabins with family was perfect. Thank you, Matt. Wow. Well, I don't deserve that super chat, but I do say thank you very much, Shoshana. And I'm equally happy to hear that you had an amazing cruise and all this information was super helpful for you, Shoshana. That is fantastic. Let's see here. Next question is from Anna Marie Myers. Anna Marie, good to see you. 83 Days to Utopia. Super excited. It's getting real, Anna Marie. I mean, Utopia of the Seas is coming up soon. Very excited for that one. Can't wait. Yes, it's going to be awesome. Next question is from Carla Robinson. Carla, thank you for the super chat. Pair character stretching his arm forward, raising his thumb up. Well, thank you, Carla. I appreciate you. GL, we cruised from New Jersey transatlantic on Anthem. It was fantastic. Diamond Plus members, entertainment was spot on, and can't wait to get back. Gary, dude, that is awesome. Thanks for the report. Appreciate you. Kim Oakland is here. Hello, Kim. Good to see you. Muscle on May wants to know. Oh, we already talked about this one, Muscle. Sorry. Ricky T, thank you for the super chat on Symphony right now and loving it. What a great ship, Symphony. I've not been on Symphony since like she launched. I think she's like the ship I've gone on the longest without sailing of the Oasis class I've gone on that I've not sailed on there. Brittany, if you use a carry-on backpack, do you have to check it like roller carry-ons? No. Carry on backpack. Dude. I'm not sure what you mean by this, Brittany. Um, you can bring any carry-on bag you'd like, a purse, a backpack, a suitcase. It really doesn't matter, but there's not rules. Whatever the carry-on rules that the airlines have don't apply to cruise ships. So as long as they can fit in the X-ray machine that you go through in during the security process of in the cruise terminal, then you can bring it on board the ship, provided it's not, of course, a prohibited item. But you know what I mean there. Let's see here. My little cousin got her hand stuck in the elevator in rural Caribbean, allure of the seas. Nothing broke, just a funny story. Well, I'm glad to hear it's a funny story and not a, yeah, we now Captain Hook over there. No, that's awesome. Glad you can laugh about it. Tony Diaz, hello. It's good to see you, Tony. Kivy, Texas, thank you for the super chat. 9 days to Alaska on Quad. Do you have any idea when the casino will be open? Usually speaking, the casino will not be open when you are in port. So as soon as you're within like 10 or 15 miles away from U.S. waters, then it'll be open. So bank on that, basically, Kivy. Wu-Tang Life, man overboard alert on Icon. Yeah, no, we posted that already yesterday at RoyalCaribbeanBlog.com. Yeah, sad news, unfortunately. Never want to see that. Slew Dog, enjoy the Royal Train podcast. Do you feel the Royal Train experience will be wasted on 3 to 4 night cruises? With 6,000 guests on board, very few will be able to get reservations. No, I understand what you're saying, but I don't think anything's a waste. You can't, I mean, to that extent, you can make an argument about a lot of things being quote unquote a waste. I would say no, Slew Dog. I think, quite frankly, not everyone, 6,000 people don't want to go do, first of all, there's not 6,000 guests on board. Am I crazy? I mean, maybe with max capacity. Okay, maybe you're right. But that's beside the point. Everybody doesn't want to do the same thing. Everybody doesn't want to go to the same restaurant. Everybody doesn't want to do the same show. I would say no. I would say that while I understand where you're going with this, that would say you're almost that logic would say, oh, we also Royal Caribbean also shouldn't have any shows on board and shouldn't because you could make the argument, well, not everyone's gonna have an opportunity to see it because they're gonna be hard pressed for time and blah blah blah. I would say no, Slew Dog. I think that there are I've shared this is what I'll say. I now have a better answer than I've given you up till now. Here's my better answer for you. Now, I've shared this before. Slew Dog, it's like going to a city, New York, Los Angeles, Miami, pick your city, doesn't matter. It's like going to a city for like a night or two. That's not enough time to see everything in that city. Far from it. But that doesn't mean it's a bad use of your time or you shouldn't do it. For some people, that's what they want to do. That's all they can do, and that's what they want to do. And there's nothing wrong with that. And you're not going to do everything. In fact, that's actually an impetus to come back and do it again. So that's actually a good thing. Teresa McChain is here. Hello, Teresa. It is good to see you. Welcome. Dave Stanton wants to know, we're going to the Cocoa Beach Club for the first time. Do we tip there? If you are getting a day pass, the only people you probably should tip would be the waiter in the restaurant. Otherwise, no. If you get a cabana, yes, tip that person. Let's see here. Ronnie again with super chat. Thank you, Ronnie. Appreciate you. I don't know where your message is, Ronnie, but I always keep an eye out for it because you're always good at alerting me to them. Douglas is doing a back-to-back next May on Oasis. I got Diamond status on day 6. Will you be able to enjoy Diamond status on the second week? Yes. If you're doing a back-to-back, Doug, when you get on board the ship on cruise 1, go speak to the loyalty ambassador, tell them what's happening, and they will set you up for Diamond status on cruise 2. If you don't do that, it won't work. Ship Truth was on Liberty. She was awesome. Yeah, I've not been on Liberty since January of 2023. My kids and my wife have never been on there, so I'm excited to go on there. It'll be fun. And I love Bermuda. You have the cruise cred? No, I don't have any cruise cred. I'm just generally, this is me normally. I feel 100% actually. Let's see here. Next question. How is the beach at St. Croix next to Frederickstead Fort? I haven't been there personally. It looks okay, but I don't think you'll go there, Daniel, and be like, "Wow, this is the best beach I've ever been to." But it's still a beach, and it's still in the Caribbean, and it's pretty nice. What is the best way to keep your items safe and secure when visiting CocoCay? Honestly, what I do, number one, I will put myself out of plain sight. So I will use my towel. I'll put it underneath my towel. We might bring a backpack or a bag of some kind and put it in there, and then put that underneath the towel. Basically, so that somebody walking by can't be like, "Oh, look, there's an iPhone." Yoink. Not that I really think that happens all that often at CocoCay, but to prevent that kind of a thing. Number two, if at all possible, try to keep it within vision of where you are. That can't always be the case, but if you have the choice, that would be something to do. If you're truly paranoid about that, nothing wrong with that. There are there are what are they called? Like not beach lockers, but there's like little lockers, things you get, like they're like bags and they attach to your chair. You could get there are lockers you could use at Perfect Day at CocoCay and leave your valuables in there. Also, I wouldn't bring that many valuables. I'd bring, your phone, because let's face it, you're probably going to bring your phone, your CPass card, and that's it. Shoes. Let's see here. Jeremy, I was supposed to go on start of the season October next year. My wife recently passed away. I'm very sorry to hear that. Would you recommend going on the cruise by myself, or should I find someone to go with me? I mean, I would say, Jeremy, if you can find someone to go with you, sure, but don't look at it as if your choice is go solo or not cruise at all. I would absolutely say go by yourself. I don't pretend to know your wife or any of your circumstances, and once again, I'm sorry for your loss. I think I made this joke with my wife. I said, listen, if I ever pass and we have a cruise coming up, I would want you to go on the cruise, because if it were roles were reversed, I would still want to go. Like, if nothing else, I feel like loved ones would want you to not only go on with your life, but more importantly, have fun and enjoy life and do the fun things, and not let that be a reason not to go. So, cruising solo is a great reason to it's a great opportunity. It's certainly different. If you can bring someone with you, fantastic, wonderful. But don't look at it as like as a bad thing or a reason not to go at all. Let's see here. Next question is from Aisling. I hope I said your name correctly. I heard a rumor that Royal Caribbean is changing the parameters to meet diamond levels. Is true? No, just idle speculation by jaded diamond members. Sorry, jaded diamond members, but you know who you are. Who me? Thank you for the super chat. I don't see a message from you, but I will keep an eye out for it. Oh, here, I found it. Hi, Matt. Work normally means I see you live rarely. 7 months, 21 days till Harmony. Can you recommend an excursion company other than Royal Caribbean to ensure you are not left behind? No, there is nothing else. Royal Caribbean is the only one that does that, because if your tour was running behind, they have the means to call the cruise ship and let them know about it, and they can do something. No third party excursion can do that. Now, that being said, Humi, here's what I would tell you. Book any shore excursion that's reputable that gets you back to the cruise terminal at least 2 hours before all aboard time. I mean, you would have to be a Herculean reason why you can't get back to the cruise ship for you to miss the ship in that situation. But only Royal Caribbean can give you that guarantee. Hey, Tara, thank you for the super chat. Can you recommend a shuttle bus from the port of, I can never pronounce the name of that city. I know it is next to Rome, Civitavecchia, to FCO Airport. We're a party of 6. I cannot. Don and Judy are in the chat. I know Don and Judy probably know the answer to this one. Or anybody in the chat, can you guys help out Tara with a recommendation for a shuttle bus to get you between the port and Rome? Thank you in advance. Amazing people in the chat who know more about Europe than I do. Let's see here. J Firm. Jay, thank you for the super chat. 109 days till Grandeur, 370 till Quantum, 460 till Star. What's your must do on Grandeur of the Seas? Schooner bar. It's a beautiful schooner bar in the Vision class. You've got to check that out. 100%. Let's see here. Eric, 38 Days of Symphony. Already checked in for shows and bought all the drink packages. Because we already checked in. When we get to the port, do we get express check-in? Not necessarily. And we did an article about this, Eric, about a week ago, how to get it. In order to get express check-in, you have to do everything in the app for check-in. Passport, which reminds me, I got to do my check-in for my Liberty cruise. Check-in time, passport, scan it. Can't enter the manual details. Take a selfie, add a credit card. The most important thing, Eric, is 24 hours before your cruise, you need to do the health questionnaire, and then you would qualify for it, assuming your cruise goes out of Port Miami. They only offer express check-in or express boarding in Port Miami. That's the only one. Do we know the entertainment yet on Utopia? We do not. Chadwick, thank you for the super chat. Wanted to run an idea by you for Royal Caribbean recognition system for good cruisers given by the cruise, similar to what Uber does with the rewards program. That's an interesting idea. I like the idea, but I maybe this happens in Uber too. I would just feel like it'd be because of the rate of repeat cruisers that go on there. I feel like the opportunity for abuse, like there would be no. Here's what I would say: there would be no. What would the impetus be for Royal Caribbean? Why would they? The only thing this would do would be to tick off people, their customers. Like if you got a 5-star review as a customer, well, you probably already think you deserve a 5-star review. So that doesn't really do any. I don't think that's going to do anything for you other than reaffirm what you already know. But if you get anything less than a 5-star, now you're going to feel like a jerk. And you're going to feel like, and most people will probably be like, instead of saying, oh, I am a jerk, they're going to feel like, wait a minute. No. How dare you call me a jerk? And it would, while I understand what you're saying, I think it would do nothing but possibly set them up for failure with their guests because it would just create a negative environment that doesn't need to be there. So I understand your idea. It it reminds me, didn't China do that or is doing that with like their social? I don't know. It doesn't matter. We're not going to get into that. The point is I don't think it'll ever happen. Hope to see PNK. Thank you for the super chat. Hope to see you on Independence next June. We're already booked before we knew we had a group cruise doing back to back. Nice. Well, I will hopefully see you on board as well. And of course, PNK, if the pricing has not changed, you can always cancel and rebook with the group. Don't forget. Let's see here. Next question. Modern myths. Is Boston hotels always so expensive going on a cruise the end of September and all the hotels are over $300? They very well can be. Are you going, check when the Boston Regatta is? We did that last year and then we ran into that exact problem. You could stay outside someone, you could stay somewhere else outside the city and save a little bit of money. But yeah, that's kind of the norm. Good opportunity to use your credit card points. Mike Godwin, Mike, thanks for the super chat, buddy. 96 Days of Freedom. Our family of 4 has 2 connecting promenade view rooms on check-in day. Will I be able to check us all in with 2 reservations number? Yeah, absolutely. You can already do that already, Mike. You can add the second room to your Royal Caribbean app. You'll see that at the bottom when you go to like upcoming cruises. And there's an option for like missing a cruise, add a reservation, something like that. Click on that and that'll have there. Anthony Benedetto. Anthony, thank you for the super chat. I don't see your message, Anthony. But thank you for the super chat, buddy. I appreciate your support. Joe Georgia 5150. For the first time we took the option with Royal Caribbean selects our cabin, which is a guarantee. Is that a bad decision? Not necessarily. I don't want to scare you. I mean, you could end up with a bad cabin, but bad is a relative word. I would say there's plenty of people who've done guarantee cabins and lived to tell the tale and even continue to do it after that. So I would say not necessarily, but there is a certain degree of variability involved with that. It kind of depends on how particular you are more than anything. Like as an example, I did a guarantee on my Freedom of the Seas cruise last week. Ended up with it was a pretty good room. It was on deck 8 connecting. It was a connecting promenade view cabin. So I ended up with a view that I didn't expect to have. It was a connecting room, but the people next door were not very loud, so it wasn't really an issue there. So yeah. Let's see here. Michael, thank you for the super chat, buddy. Appreciate you. Good evening. Do you think they will ever change the menu for the chef's table? They used to change it reasonably often enough, but they've not changed it in a while. Not since the pandemic, right? I would hope so, Michael. One would assume yes, but there's been no indication one way or another. Hey, Doug, good to see you. Can you explain the reason for Royal Caribbean's policy on having a valid passport for 6 months after the day your cruise ends? Personally, I think it's too long. I don't think that's a Royal Caribbean policy. I believe that's a recommendation that you do that. There are a handful of countries, Doug, that have that requirement. Russia, Martinique. Those are like 2 I can think off the top of my head. But I think what they do, Doug, I think that's, as far as I know, that is not a fleet-wide requirement. A recommendation, certainly. But yeah. Next question. Andrea, you are very welcome. Thanks for being here. Appreciate you. What is a good place to eat on Symphony aside from the Windjammer after first getting on board? Oh, the Park Cafe. Park Cafe in Central Park. Lauren the Legend Lisco, thank you for the super chat. No questions. Happy to be here for the best hour of my week. Hope you enjoyed Freedom. Your recent blogs have been so great. Thanks for all you do. You are very welcome, Lauren. Thank you so much. Appreciate the very, very kind words. Thank you for being here. Thank you for being a beacon of light in a world that Tony Diaz is in. Glad to have you here. Ronnie Bickers Jr. coming in again with a super chat. Holy moly. Thank you for your generosity, my friend. Appreciate you. For your biggest fan, working hard behind you. I get it. I get it. Nice. Man, you guys just love to stare at whatever's in the background here and make it a thing. Sergio, if you do a back-to-back and you're lucky to get the same cabin, can you leave your luggage in the cabin? Absolutely, yes. You don't have to unpack or pack up and unpack. No, totally fine doing that. Will it be really crowded in the Windjammer, like lines out the door? No. I would say this. It could be busy. You might struggle maybe finding a table at the peak of it, but I would say it's manageable. Cinnamon roll. I would say I go almost all the time to the Windjammer. Occasionally I don't, but if you go early though, it definitely helps a lot. Is the food in the main dining room infinite, as in unlimited, and you can get as much as you want? Absolutely. David Dietz with an epic super chat. Wow, I don't deserve this. Thank you. Thank you. See you on the Utopia. First time cruise that is not the military after 21 years of service. Thanks for the info and tips. Have a drink on us or bet on red. Well, first of all, David, thank you for your service to our country. 21 years. I say this all the time to our men and women who served our country. Thank you for serving our country. So nerds like me did not have to do that. And we would not be subjugated to being ridiculed for being utter nerds and unable to complete the physical requirements for doing that, and allowing me to do what I do here instead. So I appreciate you. Thank you, thank you, thank you. And second of all, thank you for the super chat. And third of all, I'm looking forward to seeing you on Utopia of the Seas. That's going to be awesome. Thank you for your amazing, amazing support. Aisling, thank you for the super chat. I know I answered your question already, but no, Royal Caribbean is not changing the parameters. This is idle speculation. There has been nothing there that changes that. Helcio, good to see you. I got to start learning some words in Portuguese to say hello to you because you've been here a number of weeks now. Land-based casinos are illegal in the U.S., but the ones on ships remain closed while the ship is docked, even American ports. Why is that? Because land-based casinos in the U.S., by and large, with the exception of Atlantic City and Las Vegas, are almost always on they're on Indian, I want to say Native American territory, reservations. So that's the loophole why that's the case. So like the Hard Rock Casino in Fort Lauderdale, that's run by the Seminole Indian tribe. And there's a variety of other examples of that beyond that. Let's see here. John C. John, thanks for the super chat. For a family of 6, what is a recommended tip for over the water cabana? Been there twice, but only at the beach club area, never cabana. That's a great question, John. It's a very personal question. It depends on, well, like your server, how much you ask of him or her and how much they deliver, how much of it do you perceive as over the top or what have you. There isn't a right or wrong answer. I have said this. I've talked to a number of cabana attendants. They're happy to take whatever you want to give them. No matter what you tip them, I am sure they've seen bigger tips and I'm sure they've seen worse tips. So you just want to be reasonable with it. You know, I don't think there is a recommended tip. I really think there isn't a right or wrong answer. So whatever you're comfortable with, I am sure they will appreciate. Michelle, thank you for the super chat. 3 days rather, to Alaska for husband's retirement. 10 days until Radiance. My goodness. First of all, congratulations to your husband on his retirement. Second of all, Alaska, so jealous. You're going to love it there. That is awesome. John Roberts, thank you for the super chat. It's funny, John, I have a very good friend whose name is John Roberts. You are not that person, but I'm still glad to know you. Thank you for the super chat. Is the Spectre's Cabaret show the same on Anthem and Ovation? I saw it on Ovation last year, and it's the same. I'll probably skip it. I don't believe it's. Does Ovation also have Spectre's Cabaret? I thought it was. I thought Ovation had Pixels as their show. So I'm going to say it's not the same, but I could be wrong on that because I don't think that's the case. Hey, Desiree, good to see you. Thank you for the super chat. Smiling face with sunglasses. Appreciate you. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Renice, my husband and I are going on Icon, visiting Cozumel, Roatan, CocoCay, and Costa Maya. Are any of these we should skip to get more ship time? Roatan. The rest you should all go to. Those are really great ports. But Roatan, I personally don't love Roatan that much. But unless you want to hold, what's it called? Sloths, I would say no. Let's see here. Oh, Don recommending, by the way, there's a train between that city I can't pronounce and Rome. Going back to that question from earlier, I'm really behind in the chat. Holy moly. Layered back cruising. Thank you for the super chat. 12 days till Celebrity Beyond, 115 to Utopia, 235 till Icon. Best thing to do in Grand Cayman, 7 Mile Beach. 7 Mile Beach is not like one beach. I mean, it is one beach, but like there's multiple operations there. So what I would do is I'd get off the tender in Grand Cayman, go to the taxi and be like, hey, I want to go to 7 Mile Beach and I'm looking for a beach that has, like, you might say, hey, I want to go to a beach that has drink service, umbrella rentals, and chair rentals. Or you might say, hey, I want to go to 7 Mile Beach and I have I just want a towel. I have a towel. I just want to be able to lay out and that's all I need. They can bring you to a good place over there. That's usually what has worked for me. Fenway Chris, thank you for the super chat. I don't see a message from you, buddy. Oh, there it is. I got an icon. Told me you can just buy the Royal Caribbean loyalty pins on eBay and upgrade your service on board instantly. No, that's you can what you can't. Can you buy the loyalty pins on eBay? Sure, but it doesn't actually change anything. It does absolutely nothing because no, you're not getting any perks because they're going to check it when they scan it. I mean, maybe you could sneak into like the reserved seating. I don't know that really does you much. Beyond being extremely lame, I would say it's not worth your time or money to do that. The best benefits of having higher tier are all locked into the digital coupons and vouchers you get. And I would say, and those don't come with the pin. So you just look like a dork. And a petty dork at that much. Not you, the other guy. Nicholas, thank you for the super chat. What's the best thing to order at Hooked Icon in 4 days? Lobster or the filet mignon? One of the two. Probably lobster, I would imagine. Let's see here. Unofficialo. Love the blog and the Q&As. Have you been to Turkey on a cruise? I've not. I've never done that one before. So maybe someone in our chat can highlight it for you. Oh, sorry, Ronnie, for missing that earlier. Does the travel insurance you purchase through Royal Caribbean include getting sick on a cruise? Why choose insurance through Royal Caribbean versus a third party? That's a bigger question, Ronnie. All travel insurance is not all the same. They're not like if you get travel insurance from Royal Caribbean or Allianz or Travel Guard, they are completely different policies with completely different coverages. It's more like auto insurance. They differ greatly. So I would tell you why, because there are different coverages, different rules involved. We did a podcast, Ronnie. I want you to check this out. This is the best episode I can give you. Travel insurance episode 510 of the Royal Caribbean Blog podcast. Check that out. I have a much better answer for your question than I can possibly rattle off over here. But I think too many people, Ronnie, to your point, buy Royal Caribbean travel insurance figuring, all right, I'm good for anything. Not necessarily. What is one thing you will never do again on a Royal Caribbean cruise? Oh man, there's a few. And I've definitely done videos about it. I would say the key, but I'll end up doing the key again because I need to research it to verify it's still as bad as it was. But I will tell you, I'll never do Ripcord by iFly. I'm terrible at it. I will never do any excursion I've ever done in Falmouth, Jamaica that I booked through Royal Caribbean. There's at least 3 or 4 of them. They were all terrible. I will never book a group. That's not true. I take that back. Never mind. Take that back. That's not true. Boy, there are others. I've done some videos about it, but that's a really good question. Larissa, thank you for the super chat. When I missed boarding and I boarded the next port, planned for 1 day early arrival, but almost lost our cruise due to flight cancellations. No, you can't. That's called downlining. You possibly might not be able to do that, depending on there are rules and regulations related to the U.S. Passenger Vessel Service Act. It's really complicated, but you might not be. If you miss boarding, you probably miss the cruise. There could be a scenario in which you could fly on your own dime to like the next port and meet the ship, but I think cost effective wise, it probably doesn't make a lot of sense. Um, Planned for 1 day early, but almost lost our last cruise due to flight cancellations. I mean, you still, but the point is, let me rewrite your last sentence there. Came in a day early and thankfully made the cruise because there were still a lot of flight cancellations. Um, but yeah, I would say in that case, Larissa, travel insurance would be your friend because that would have covered you in that scenario in case you didn't make it. Hey, Rena, thank you for the super chat. I don't see Rena. I'm looking for a message from you. Oh, I found Alex's. Alex, thank you for the super chat. Am I allowed to go to unlimited dinners per day with the limited dining package? For example, Chops at 7, Hooked at 9, Players 10:30. Yes, you absolutely can. In that exact scenario, yes. The restriction involved with it is you can't do Playmakers or Izumi Sushi or Portside Barbecue because they're all a la carte restaurants more than once per day. But yeah, you can eat at Chops at 7, Hooked at 9. It sounds like a good idea now as you're sitting at home wishing you were on a cruise. Let me tell you, you will not want to. There's way too much food there. Thank you, Alex, for the super chat. Rena, I see your super chat, but I don't see a message from you, so I'll keep an eye out for it. Chadwick again with a super chat. Thank you, Chadwick. Oh, we answered this one already, but thank you, my friend. Appreciate you. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Oops. Wills X edits. Thank you for the super chat. Going on a wonder for the second time, but found out they're switching to 3 night cruises December 25. So is somebody worth it if we switch? Sure, it's a great option. I would say if you don't want to do 3 night cruise, do Icon or Star. But Symphony's a great choice. Yeah, I think that's a great idea. Let's see here. Next question. Boy, sloths are cute. NYC Love for life. Did you get to ask Royal leadership if Royal Railway been included? I did ask them, and they said there's no answer yet. I did ask, and they say we don't have an answer yet. Manny, thank you for the super chat. 89 days till your 50th birthday on Rhapsody. Unlimited dining is 40% off and is $189 a person. Wondering if it's worth it. There's only 3 restaurants. I mean, those are 3 good restaurants. So there's nothing wrong with those restaurants. So as long as you're okay repeating food, sure, absolutely. It's a great price. It's a more question for you. Kendall's going to Alaska, wants recommendations for what to do in Sitka, Ketchikan, Juneau, or Victoria. We have recommendations of awesome shore excursions to do in every single one of those ports. Well, maybe not Victoria, but Sitka, Ketchikan, and Juneau. If you go to royalcaribbeanblog.com/Alaska, royalcaribbeanblog.com/Alaska, we've got advice for that for you to check on out. Yeah. But in Juneau, do something that do a tour that takes you to Mendenhall Glacier Park. Absolutely fantastic. Loved it. Do a little hike to Nuggets Falls. It's a really easy hike. I loved it. There's a lot of good tours. Anyway, royalcaribbeanblog.com/Alaska for more information. Thank you again for another super chat. Can you then recommend a quality third-party excursion company? Yeah, absolutely. Resortforaday.com, Viator.com, and I forget who the other company is that MEI Travel recommends. I forget. Maybe one of our travel agents in the chat can remind us of that one. But what I do, resortforaday.com, Viator has a lot of great options for you. Viator. But in general, just look up reviews. Go to we have a let me make this easier also for you. If you go to royalcaribbeanblog.com, in our main menu, there's a message board link. Go on the message boards, and then did I miss sunset? Not yet. And then there's a shore excursion forum in there. There'll be more. You can get recommendations in there. Derek, thank you for the super chat. Your thoughts if Royal Caribbean Celebrity are going to combine their casino cruise offers in the future instead of the cruise line you get the offer for? Good question. I know that for a fact that Royal Caribbean Celebrity are working on combining their loyalty programs, but beyond that, I'm not sure about the casino. That would be kind of tough, but boy, I would love that was the case. Wouldn't that be amazing? That would be fantastic. Cowboy Valley and Timberline Junction Model Railroad, thank you for the super chat. Grand Cayman's best excursion is Stingray City. Brother, I mean, listen, you're asking. I recuse myself from this conversation because I personally do not want, like, touching stingrays is probably one of the grossest things I can think of to do on a cruise. I personally don't want to do that, but if you like it, listen, there's a reason why it's a very popular tour, so I don't disagree with you on that. Deb, thanks for the super chat. First time cruiser, Allure in the Med. Is there any info on what's changing with the refit? Not yet. Royal Caribbean has not announced it yet, Deb. When we know it, we will post it at royalcaribbeanblog.com, but it is it's not available yet. Jonesy, good to see you, buddy. Thank you for the super chat. Just saying hi. Hope you are doing well. I'm doing very well. It is good to see you here. Thanks for being here again. Shore Excursion Group. Thank you. So the going back to Humi's question about recommended shore excursion operators, Shore Excursion Group is another one to Google and get good recommendations right there. So on that note, ladies and gentlemen, I think we've there's a beautiful sunset happening behind me, and never mind. That beautiful sunset can wait, because JC has got a super chat for us. Thank you, JC, for the super chat. Enjoyed the last podcast. Thank you. Especially email from that guy who shares my initials. Question: Bermuda or Liberty? Oh, sorry. Bermuda on Liberty or Symphony to Florida? Oof. Because that Symphony itinerary is not great. Port Canaveral, Nassau, perfect day. I would do Liberty. I know it's like the ship is better. Obviously, Symphony is a better ship, so to speak. But Liberty is not a slouch either, and Bermuda is more interesting. So I would probably pick Liberty to Bermuda by a hair, a very, very small hair. Luke, any tips for meeting people once you've aged out of teen club? Oh, actually, they have a new program, Luke, just for you. If you're between the ages of 18 and 23, there is Hyperlink. So look in the Roll app. Every evening, there's at least one or two events for people that are of your age called Hyperlink. And it is designed for folks like yourself, 18 to 23. So, yeah, we have a review of it at Royal Caribbean Blog. If you Google Royal Caribbean Blog Hyperlink, you'll find our review. Karen, thank you for the super chat. Cruising. Oops. What did I do? There we go. Cruising in 193 days on ratings out of Tampa. Any tips on parking? Oh, my goodness. Karen. I'm telling you this as a friend. And Don and Judy are going to back me up in the chat. Valet parking. Park at the port and do the valet parking option. It's an extra $15 total. It's the best parking you're going to find. Do that one. 1,000% recommended. Do that every single time, Karen. So yeah, park at the port and do the valet parking. You will love it. So yeah, Tony, I'm sorry. We do have the being said, Tony, we maybe already watched it. We have a new video that came out earlier today. You can watch. But yeah, park at the port. Look, Don never writes in capital letters, but that's how you know. Yeah. Judith is on Liberty right now. Enjoy your next cruise. I will. Thank you, Judith. I'm looking forward to it, which, by the way, means, guys, next Monday, we'll be back on Monday, but our broadcast will be coming to you guys live from Liberty of the Seas. Hopefully, the internet works better on Liberty than it did on Freedom, for at least video live streaming anyway. So, Tony, would love to see you or the Royal Caribbean Blog team do a YouTube on your top 25 alcoholic beverages on the ships. That's a great idea. We actually have a blog post for it, though, if you want. It's not 25, but it's was it cocktails to order? Yeah, 21. I'm sorry, Tony. It's only 21, not 25. But I'll post it in the chat, buddy. It's in the chat right there, Tony. So I know you won't be able to hear my voice saying it, but we wrote it all up for you. So there you go. All right. Already watched the new video. Thank you, Ship Truth. I appreciate you. Thank you. What else am I going to do in my time? What else are you supposed to do? I'm sorry. Listen, I'm ending at 10 minutes early. I want to go see the sunset. All right. We're right on the lake. All right, hold on a second. You got another minute because Sissify. Thank you, Sissify, for the super chat. 133 days to Harmony. Thank you, Sissify, for the super chat. I hope you have an amazing cruise on Harmony. Is it true someone went overboard on Icon? Yes, we posted about that yesterday at RoyalCaribbeanBlog.com. Michael G coming in hot with the super chat. Thank you, Michael. We love 99% of your tips. We still disagree about the key. We're Diamond members and purchase every cruise. Wow, really? Daily internet, the reserved seats, and the last cruise we received, the iFly, each for free. Dude, do you know that being Diamond, you get the same seats? I think. Isn't Diamond included in that? Okay, it doesn't even matter. I don't care. For the purpose of this discussion, I will say this. You can buy the internet. I buy the internet. Nothing wrong with that. The reserve seats are lame. They're not the best seats in the house. And you got the iFly. Wasn't it? It was, I'm going to guess the reserve time for the iFly was either like, I don't know, on a C day at like 8 a.m. or more likely at like 5 o'clock p.m., which is right at dinner time, which is a time in which there's very little demand for it. But listen, Michael, if you enjoy it, that is awesome. I'm not here to tell you that you're wrong or you shouldn't do it. I just don't recommend it. But that's okay. You know you. That's the most important thing there. And like you say, we agree 99% about the other stuff. That's all that matters. I love that. I love that. JC, no worries. No worries, my friend. No worries. All right, guys. I'm gonna go see the sunset. I think it's still up, so I'm gonna go hopefully see it. All right, guys. Oh, no, I mean, yes. Derek, thank you for the super chat. Appreciate it. When will Icon be offered for free for casino offers? I don't know. Derek, they don't share that information. It's one of those like when it's ready, it'll be ready. And I don't think there's any real indication or way to know definitively when it will be offered there. So yeah. All right, guys. Next week we'll live with you on YouTube on Monday at our usual time. Thank you for your amazing support today. You guys have been absolutely phenomenal. Big shout out to all of our super chatters, including Mr. Terry Arter coming in with the super chat. Thank you, Terry. Always good to see you, buddy. You are the man. Thank you, Terry. You're amazing. Are agents for hyperlink enforced? Yeah, I mean, I don't know if they check ID, but I don't see why they wouldn't be. So sure, maybe. All right, guys. Thank you, Terry. I didn't see a message from you, Terry, but I'm gonna assume you're just being Terry and being awesome. So thank you very much. Have a great week, everybody. Stay safe out there. Do something fun, and we'll talk again very soon right here on YouTube. Bye, everybody.